Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you. Happy Thursday morning. Now, we are looking at not so interesting. I mean, it's still not interesting in my humble opinion. This is pretty mundane. Things we've seen a whole bunch of times before. We've seen this the last 3 weeks in a row. Some kind of pump like this, and then it comes back down the next day. Now, this started yesterday with the Fed announcement that they're raising interest rates by 0.25%. And we're kind of holding here. We're holding above 40K, which is pretty interesting. So we're going to have to see how the weekend does. Like, are we going to stay above 40K for the weekend, or are we going to come back down? There's, like, I mean, we're basically, all of this is, I don't know attitude, right? We don't know what's happening. And it's quite clear that the market does not know. And it's just going sideways, and we're just waiting for some kind of, like, real movement. The bull market support band seems to be the thing that's like holding a lot of things back. Remembering that in a few weeks, right, this data up here will not be accounted for because it's the 20-week moving average. So when this stuff gets out, we're going to have this thing sink down a lot faster. Like, I don't, like, it's probably going to start coming down like this, like a lot sharper, right? And that's going to be, like, that's going to put some downward pressure on the Bitcoin price, which is why I'm still not going in here. I'm not like YOLOing my money in because I don't feel like we're there yet. I need to see that capitulation. I need to see the price of the coin really hit a price with high volume that indicates that we are in a place where we're not going to go any lower. We've scared all the people away, and the big whales are going to come in and start buying like hundreds, thousands, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of coins at a time. That's what we need to see. I know a lot of people are holding, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not convinced is essentially what I'm saying. I'm not convinced that that's the way that it's going to be. I still think it's going to be, wait for some real action. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see what tomorrow looks like. Okay, I want to cover some brief things here. Bored Ape Yacht Club, they released this token and it went down by 80% at opening. Totally normal, right? This is what happens normally when there's an airdrop. But it's interesting. Each owner of a coin of a NFT got 10,000 of these tokens or whatever, and yeah, pretty normal. I wouldn't mind buying some of these. I wonder if I can through like one of these platforms, not Binance or anything, but I wouldn't mind. It's just it's a pretty coveted club, and I don't know what the token could do. The token could be quite valuable. There aren't that many. And this is a nice little chart just showing normally what happens, right? This is something else, but like you can see it just goes down basically. Airdrops are interesting. Zelensky signs virtual asset bill into law legalizing crypto. And this is great, right? This is great. The only concern is will Ukraine as a country still be around in 6 months, right? It's definitely a nice gesture. Like, he's really fully legalizing it. I read through this. It's essential full legalization, right? And it's great. It's really good, but will the country be around? My thinking is that no. And the reason I think that is if you look at if you go on YouTube, there's a guy that's showing day by day activity of like let's see if I can pull that Russian invasion day by day. And what they're going to do is they're going to circle Kiev. And when they circle Kiev, that's going to be it. And then it's just a starvation game. So I think it's going to take like 2 weeks because the army's making real progress. The Russian military is making real progress. Of course, the Ukrainians are making some wins, but I don't fully trust the Western media to tell me exactly what's going on, to be frank. And you can't really trust the Russian side either to fully get an idea of what's going on. So you have to kind of mix the two or really look for a third party perspective, maybe like a more military perspective. Someone that's kind of familiar with the military. I can't find it. But what I think is going to happen is they're going to surround Kiev, and then and what's going to happen then is we're going to have a situation where they're just going to wait. And so from the map that I saw yesterday, the Russian army is like down here. All of this is like taken over by the Russians. Not so much in the south, and some over here. I don't remember how much, but it's some. And what they're going to do is they're going to entirely circle the city, right? And then just wait. So I think that circling them is going to take maybe 2 weeks, because once you circle them, you also get rid of all the resources and everything that's going in, right? And that's like a relatively straightforward way of making sure that you take down a city. Though there is a Geneva Convention, I think, where you're not allowed to do that. But I think they'll circle the city, and then once they circle the city, they will either bomb it, right? Like aggressively bomb it, or send ground troops in, which they haven't yet. Because we haven't seen any ground troop mobilization. We also haven't seen air mobilization, which is very, very interesting. Um, yeah, which is quite interesting. But I believe that to be the case now, that they're going to yeah, they're going to do that. And I think Ukraine will fall in about 4 weeks from now. So I think it'll take 2 weeks for them to, well, a week to get into position, and then 2 weeks of holding this position around them. And then the last week, maybe the mid-April, late April is when this will all wrap up, I think. So it's unfortunate, but that's my hypothesis right now. I mean, I know, like, in the media currently, we get all this information about the Russian army doing this and that, and like demoralization. But what army is not demoralized, right? Every army is demoralized in war, unless they're like, I mean, it's rare that they're actually moralized. I mean, soldiers complain so much. It's it's just, if I was to look at the unfortunate truth, I think that's what the case is. So I don't know how bullish this information is, but this is bullish information, obviously, right? What's interesting is this bullish information is not affecting the price. In any other circumstance, if we were in a bull run right now, this news would rocket us up like another 20% or 10%. This is not really doing it here, right? It's like we went up a little bit and we're kind of holding. We're about 7% up maybe. Right, we're like holding a little bit. We're just like, okay, let's see what happens. And I think this is going to come back down tomorrow, and that whole thing. Maybe we'll reach for the bull market support band and come back down. I don't know. Last thing I want to cover today is Mark Zuckerberg says NFTs are coming soon to Instagram. Now this is interesting, and the reason it's interesting is because if we go to OpenSea, we can see that there's, I mean, like, if hold on, forget OpenSea. If Instagram takes on, and there isn't much data here, it's basically just saying that Zuckerberg went to South by Southwest and announced that he's gonna integrate NFTs into Instagram. And what this means for the NFT platform is that there's going to be a lot more growth there, right? A lot more people are going to be spending a lot more money on NFTs. Because right now it's a bunch of niche people that are buying NFTs, but if you can really buy NFTs and there's a purpose, like for Instagram, I can see a lot of people throw these up on their, on their Instagram profile and whatnot. It's very, very interesting. There's going to be a lot of side businesses that pop up with this kind of stuff. I'm pretty excited. Like, it's going to be pretty big, I think. Like, Instagram's like, I'm so sorry. I've been doing this gym thing, and it's making me extra tired. But I think it's pretty exciting. I think we're going to see some movement in the NFTs, further movement in the NFTs before the market crashes and before NFTs crash with that. We're going to have to wait and see, of course, but I would not be surprised to see a jump up in most NFT prices. The thought that comes to mind to me is, how do I make it so that people can make NFTs really easily, right? How can they make it like super easy, like kind of like the avatar sort of thing, right? Like, how do they do that? Is there a way to do that? Like, is there an app that they can make that will make NFTs really easy to make and then integrate into Instagram? That'd be interesting. And I think Instagram would integrate something like that into their platform, but that would be pretty interesting. I'm actually looking for something to do, and that might be something interesting to do. Though this YouTube thing is not quite a handful. Like, I don't prepare very much for these, right? So I can really do it. But if I was to prepare a lot more, I feel like this might be a better route to go. just something I need to consider because I'm not getting the views and subscribers I'd like to get from this platform. But I think it's a lack of preparation that's causing that. And I need to maybe script some things out and really have some real data for you guys that you really, really love. Aside from that, that's everything for today. I will chat with you guys tomorrow.